No, I don't want
Go on, try it, it's nice. Don't have me on it.
What's your verdict? Do you like it? Do you like it or not?
Get me off that
What, you nervous? What's wrong? Why don't you like to go on camera, Mum?
Get me off the camera.
Let's go run. Yo, welcome back to another video on the channel. Last week's video of a full day of eating has gone really well, so I appreciate that a lot. This week, obviously, as you can see, we're going to do a Q&A along with a run. So we've got a 45-minute run now, and we're going to come back along with some questions that you guys have been asking on the channel, and we'll go from there. Let's get it. In, absolutely beautiful. 45-minute run, and then we're getting some questions, but 3K done so far. Let's get it. 11K complete. Ran in the end 53 minutes instead of 45, but I just had to finish the loop, so I got caught out a little bit too short. Halfway through that run, I thought, oh, I haven't fueled enough here, and I felt a little bit drained, if anything. Like I hadn't got carbs in me, etc., like glucose. I think that's right. And still learning, but then it just picked up and felt all right. So quite happy with that in the end. Keep pushing. But yeah, made it back now. Get food in, and then we'll get answering some questions. Let's get it. Yo, so that is the run done. I've had loads and loads of questions recently, obviously since starting YouTube properly, and people commenting. My Instagram obviously going up now. I think we hit 60K today, which is quite cool. Obviously TikTok as well, so I post on that a bit more frequently as well. So with all of that, we've got a whole list of questions that I've wrote down on my phone, and we're going to go through all of those. So the first one is, how would you recommend someone start training hybrid? So for me, I started training hybrid. Obviously, my whole background has been through sports, so rugby, football, any sports at school, running, all that kind of stuff as well. So for me, if I was to start hybrid training from a fresh, and I already lifted, I would do lifting and then run the next day. And then when I start to build that up, and my fatigue starts to decrease, because you obviously get used to it, then you can start doing a lift in the morning, a run in the evening. The one thing I still don't do, and I wouldn't probably do, is do legs and then run, just because I wouldn't get much benefit out of that anyway. Another thing you can do if you're new to running, start on the treadmill, but realistically the best thing to do is get out on the road. And if you need to walk, run, walk, like that's something we can do as well. And if you're someone who wants to push it a bit more, there's obviously I have coaching services as well. So we've got the hybrid hub that I'll just link here. Looking at that, you've then got obviously your one-to-one coaching, which is with me personally, or you've got a community plan, which is hybrid performance. And on that, then you have an 8-week block to start you off, and then you'll go into the next block, which looks at improving your squat and your bench and your pull-ups. Moving into the block 2 plan, you then push yourself even more, looking at other strength-based programs as well. The next questions was, how tall are you and what is your height? So I like to say I'm 6 foot. 6'1" in Air Forces was always the saying when I was younger, and I'm 91 kg right now. This weight has literally stayed the same from when I had a little bit of a binging kind of period after I finished my photo shoot prep. Did a photo shoot prep with a coach, and I just didn't like it at all, so I finished that early, and it kind of led me down a binging disorder kind of route, and it was the worst thing I've ever done. But I put on like 7 kilograms in like 4 days. The wafers from my protein, they taste great, but when there's like 5-6 boxes waiting for you after you've been dieting for that long, it really isn't ideal. But yeah, so that's that. And then obviously stayed the same weight, but I've literally just decreased my body fat, hopefully grew more muscle, and that's why I'm quite lean now, but yet still look like I've got a little bit of size. The next question is advice on preventing injuries whilst training for the amount that you are building up. Don't rush into it and go 100 miles an hour. It's like when you first start to run, you wouldn't go and do a marathon on your first ever run. You build it up, you get used to it. One of the main things for this, and I say to all my clients, is making sure your nutrition is bang on. So for me, making sure my input is just as high as my output. So the other day I worked out I'm burning around 2,500 to 3,000 calories per day. So it allows me to be eating at least 3.5k to still be in a surplus, to make sure that I'm safe and I'm not going to be losing weight, etc. And then in terms of preventing injuries, so on leg days, making sure that they're training the legs unilaterally. I think that's one of the best ways in order to make sure that your legs are strong. Shin splints going as well. So any supplements you can take, making sure your protein intake is high, and also that you're carbing up for when you're doing your exercises and stuff like that. If you check my last video, you'll see what a full day of eating looks like. I was on the rest of this Q&A yesterday, so that's what I'm doing legs today after a run. So I'm not doing what I said I wouldn't do. So we're going to go through the questions that obviously got cut off on the video, and then while training legs. So I think it makes it a bit more interesting, and also try and hit some good weights on here. And then we're also going to run through my leg day as a runner, and 67 days out from the half Ironman as well. Question is, what is the hardest part about being a content creator? So for me personally, like you've seen now, I'm in a gym environment. I need to make this content. If I don't make it, then you guys aren't going to see it at home. So for me, making sure that, you know, yes, you've got to be confident to talk in the gym. Like, it's pretty busy right now, but I'm still doing it. So I'm literally standing here with a mic, talking to a camera, basically talking to myself. If it wasn't for that, like before, I've been in this situation so many times, and I've like let my environment win. So it means that like I don't get content, you don't see the content, and overall they probably not win, but like they're almost like getting in your head when realistically no one cares. Like I'm doing this right now and no one's actually looking at me. Like I'm literally looking at people and no one's looking at me. So it doesn't matter. So if you want to start making content, just post it, because at the end of the day, if you don't, you're not going to get anywhere with it if you wanted to. What will be your main focus after 70.3 is the next question. And for me, that'll probably be either a Hyrox or a CrossFit. Obviously I've started CrossFit in August time and it was sick, really enjoyed it. But obviously doing this and doing CrossFit was just too much. I've had to give up CrossFit for a little bit, but obviously still staying in the conditioning. If anything, the Hyrox conditioning probably suits me better and is less injury prone, but CrossFit, you won't ever like beat the community so far. I mean, I haven't competed at Hyrox yet, but obviously I've got one on the 5th of May in London, so we'll definitely see how that looks. So it's either going to be between CrossFit and Hyrox. I might do both. Definitely a marathon. If you follow me on Instagram, I'll put in for the London Marathon as well, so hopefully get that next April. Running shoes, I'll quickly put a slide on now. But these are the Alpha Fly 3s, honestly the best shoe that I bought to date. I had the Alpha Fly 2s and they were awful for blisters, etc. But these have just been absolutely great, and they're so bouncy as well. Really do help. Watch recommendations, so you'll see, again, I wear both. I've got a Garmin and a Whoop. This obviously helps a lot. One, to obviously do all my training, and then two, for my sleep and recovery. So using my Whoop for that, I take my Garmin off at night, so I don't have it, so it's something that aren't charged, but this stays on all the time, and you get like a battery pack that sits at the top of it as well. So the next question is, what has been the hardest part of training for 70.3? Definitely for me, definitely swimming. Going from literally not swimming properly ever to starting in September swimming. Now my times are actually okay and I'm quite happy with them. But before they were definitely horrendous. Like I remember getting in the pool for the first time and swimming 25 metres and literally having to breaststroke halfway because I was absolutely knackered. But now, like this morning, I banged out 500 metres 5 times. So literally only a minute rest. So really happy with that, and just keep pushing myself along with that. Obviously, my other issue is probably the bike, just because in the winter months, like in the garage, it's so boring. But I'm going to get on the road really soon. Obviously, that'll be another video that we'll do. But yeah, it's very much, the bike's probably the most boring part, but the swim has definitely been the most learning part. So I actually quite enjoy it now. Question is, what do you use to make your videos? Camera, editing software. Camera wise, it's an A7 IV. I use a G-Master 16 to 35mm lens as well. That's what looks quite crisp. Editing software is CapCut. So literally when I'm editing these myself, I use CapCut. CapCut Pro is probably the better one. And when I get Leo to do it for me, I think he uses Final Cut Pro. That's why in the last video it looked so cool as well. Mindset advice, when it comes to that, I think it's very much the fact of when you're making content, if that's the question you mean, when you're making content, it's very much the fact of you make it for yourself, and if people like it, they'll like it. If they don't like it, they won't follow you. But if you like making it, that's what the most important thing is. And you'll find your own circle of people, your own niche that actually want to follow you for what you do. And I think that's something that I'm at the moment starting to get build into, and obviously build a community is really cool, and that's what I want to do as well. And then obviously the last one is content ideas. So for me, social media is a whole lot of you see a video that you like, you don't copy that video, but you make that video your own. So for instance, I'll see a video that someone does, oh right, I can do something a bit better than that, or I can do something different to that, and I'll put my own spin on it. I think that's probably the best way to look at it. Instead of saying, oh, I'm just going to copy that for exactly how it is, make sure that you put your own bit of it on it. Really make sure you put your own bit on it, and you'll feel a lot better for it as well. So next exercise, obviously, leg extensions, but before that, to answer another question. So the next question is, what supplements do you take? So at the moment, so obviously whey protein is one of the biggest ones for me, along with obviously my diet, making sure that I hit my protein intake all the time. And then around that, obviously my tablets. So I'm taking obviously Puresport stuff, so cordyceps, also magnesium, and then when I'm sleeping and to recover, unwind. One that I do definitely recommend is cordyceps. It's helped me with my cardiovascular training, and overall it increases the way you're able to perform as well. So definitely have a look at that. RDL is really important, making sure that we're hitting this, just because you want to make sure your legs are strong, your hamstrings are strong. I tore my hamstring playing rugby, in August last year. So, you know, making sure that that's strong the whole time now, like when I'm really pushing these miles, pushing the speed, when I'm going for a 5k PP or something, I want to make sure that my legs are strong and they're not going to give up on me. And RDL is definitely the way to do that. Train a single leg like we've just seen on the leg extensions, but obviously double leg RDL and single leg RDL B stance, so you can do it like that, stuff like that. But just for today's session, it's double leg. So yeah, let's get into it. Pretty much finished, ended on some calf raises, etc. Just to make sure my calves are good, no shin splints coming, hopefully, touch wood. As I've got Hyrox in literally what 11 days, I think it is, 10, 11 days. Just been doing some conditioning, so I'm going to run through my Hyrox conditioning now, which is going to be 10 laps of 400 meters on the skier, 30 seconds rest of time. It's brutal. Get my central nervous system kicking in a bit more, and yeah, let's get it. 2 sets done. Oh man, 10 seconds rest now. Goes down so fast. Oh, 10 cycles, 20 minutes. Have a go at that session if you haven't already. 400 by 10, 30 seconds rest. Let's go. Yo, so that is now gym complete with the Hyrox conditioning as well. I think we're ready to go for when it comes to the 5th of May. I think it'll be one of those where just send it and see how it goes. Obviously, I am doing a mixed doubles with a girl called Georgie, so it should be really, really good. And I can't wait to actually start as well. And if I end up getting hooked onto Hyrox, it'll be really, really cool. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this. I really appreciate all the support shown. I'll see you in the next one. Let's get it.